After having been an excessive overachiever and hard worker, overworker, I will say, stress addict, stressaholic, workaholic, doing all those for the 20 years of my life and having achieved a pretty good amount for someone my age, I came to a pretty harsh realization that no matter how much you achieve or succeed in life, you will always have the opportunity to fall to worry, stress, and anxiety. For those of you who are new here, I'm Brian Di Bassinga from BecomingBrianDi, a student athlete at Yale University. Sorry. And this is a channel for you and me to both become the people who God called us to be, us to step into our purpose and make that purpose and serve each other. Anyways, in doing that, I'm sharing a little bit about my walk with Christ, hence this video, and trying to give you guys a space to also join in. Anyone who's interested in learning about what's inside the Bible or just seeing how you can apply this to life, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't already, check out my Instagram at BecomingBrianDi. After I got to Yale, especially, I really started to hear so much about how people would say, oh, you're set for life, now that you got to Yale, like you'll be good, no matter what, which low-key can be true, because if you're at Yale and you work hard, there is a very clear pipeline into consulting, into banking. You can get yourself to big tech. And with that, you can get a high-paying salary. The work is arguably unfulfilling, and it leads to very long and stressful hours, which in the grand scheme of things is honestly not that bad, because money is important. And better to have money than not to have money, which I will admit. Having grinded for, let's say, 6 years, to be conservative. Having grinded for 6 years just to set myself up to get to the best place I could for college. So I really wanted to go out of state, really wanted to go explore the world, yada, yada, yada. I was under a constant state of stress for those 6 years. And I noticed because right after graduation is the first time I ever felt relief. I didn't know what this relief was, but I started actually feeling emotions. I started crying. I hadn't cried in years. But after that point, I was like, dang, why am I so emotional? Why is all this hitting me at once? And throughout my first semester, I allowed myself the space to actually explore my interests. And so I ended up taking some classes in music and education and started learning how to sing. And I tasted what it was like to actually enjoy what you like to do, which I know is crazy. It sounds very crazy, and I understand that. But I have the experience now of both working with the idea of, a very distant idea at the time. I was like, dang, I don't know anyone who's ever gone to an Ivy League. I don't know anyone who's ever gone to a prestigious school. No one in my family that I knew of at the time had. And so I was trying everything in my power to have the chance of making it happen. And it finally happened, right? And so now I'm here, and I realize that I have been doing so many things in my life that I didn't actually enjoy doing. I just did it so I could get to a next step in my life. Now I have the decision to actually go for what I want to do or continue doing what I've become good at since I've been doing it for so long. But the reality is, regardless of what you do, to achieve success in something is going to take a lot of hard work. And now we're back into the situation where you can fall to stress, anxiety, and worry. And now I feel like I was left with a few options. I could just continue in this cycle of feeling dissatisfied with everything I'm doing, but have security and just keep going through this cycle of not enjoying life but having money, right? That's one option. Second option, I could just stop caring in general, because if we're all gonna die anyways, why waste time actually trying to improve myself, and let me just live life for pleasure, you know what I mean? Or the third one, which, spoiler alert, the one that I chose, which is find purpose in the grind. And me personally, I don't want all that character development from the past to just be for me to be in a purposeless cycle, you know what I mean? I didn't go through all that struggle for nothing, okay? I know sunk fallacy is not really a fallacy, but it is not a fallacy. Anyways. In terms of my relationship with my faith, I've always been a lukewarm Christian. And I was baptized as a child, went through the whole Sunday school thing, did my first communion, did all the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I never really, I don't think I read a single book in the Bible. I showed up to church, but I stopped going during COVID. And then since then, it's been on and off. I realized that I did not really know who God was or what this whole thing was about. I was just doing it because that's what my family was doing, you know what I'm saying? And grateful that I was not traumatized by my family in this process, which allowed me to start restoring it now, because I know some people who have been traumatized and that makes it very difficult to even look at it. But bear with me. Over the summer, I would say after my first year, I had this little scare where I was afraid of going back to camp with the same person that left, because first year was a year of stress. I was having breakdowns. I didn't have many breakdowns, but I honestly was just very lost and I did not know what I was doing with my life. I was realizing, okay, I need to make some decisions. I can't give up this opportunity, but I don't want to live a life I don't like just because everyone's telling me I should. But at the same time, I need money. And I was just going through this whole spiral, and my mom would send me these long 45-minute to an hour sermons. And it was like, some of them where they were talking about, just like different principles in the Bible, just stuff that because we were kind of going on this walk faith through this growth in our faith together. And in one of those videos, I was led to Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 through 9. And when I was reading those verses, I'll read it to you guys, actually. I need to get my glasses on because I actually can't see. So I'm going to start from Joshua chapter 1, verse 7 and go to 8. So it says, "Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not deviate from them, turning either to the right or to the left. Then you will be successful in everything you do. Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do." And so I remembered that verse when I heard it. I was like, be strong and courageous. I've heard that somewhere. It turns out when I was like 6, my mom gave me this little name tag plaque thing that had that verse on it. It only had part of the verse on it, but for some reason it clicked. And it also reminded me, because when I looked up the name of Brian, I remember during that time I was always interested in like what my name meant, because it was like, very white. But it meant, let me actually read this one too, because So Brian is a name symbolic of strength and virtue, traits inspiring bravery which will support them in reaching unimaginable heights. As someone whose ideal life is not in the constraints of corporate America, that right there spoke to me. It spoke to me indeed. It really did. And during this whole period of time, I was very afraid of merely wanting to do something that was outside of computer science, outside of what the Yale pipeline can give for you. I was afraid of trying to veer outside of that because I felt I was not appreciating the privilege that I had of being at Yale. I was not appreciating the connections I have. And hearing the whole be not afraid, not be not afraid, sorry, that's from the Angel TikTok, which if you know, you know. But hearing the whole be strong and courageous, hearing that after I was writing in my journal, I literally wrote like, I'm afraid of this, and then I saw that, I was like, dang. He says, speaketh. Just for context, this message was to Joshua, who was kind of like handed off the leadership role of leading the Israelites to the promised land from Moses. Like, the responsibility was given from Moses to Joshua. So that's why it says, follow the instructions Moses gave you. Yada, yada, yada. But me, I was a little intrigued. I was like, if that worked for Joshua, maybe that'll work for me. And especially just having the chance to have success and prosperity in everything I do, even if it's outside of tech or consulting or banking, that was, I felt spoken to at that moment. When people talk about, oh, God told me this, I feel like that's the first time he spoke to me like answer, because I literally, anyways. And so from then, I actually started to try to meditate on the word day and night so that I could be successful, because I was like, you know what? If this is the guy who made, the world or whatever, made the universe, made life, maybe he knows what we should be doing in this life, if that makes sense. And the thing is, even though trying to read the Bible and just trying to obey what's inside of it is very, very difficult, I'm telling you, y'all, the way we made many steps back. Not really, but we stumbled a lot. I will say that much. We still stumbling to this day. But even just the small changes, the amount that my life has changed, the quality of my life has changed with those small changes. have empowered me to just keep going back and keep looking for more. But in doing this, it's kind of made me understand that everything I'm doing is not for me, because if it's for you, then it's as meaningful as your death. Like you're gonna die. Well, I don't even know if that makes sense. We're gonna keep it in there. But you're gonna die regardless. So if you do everything for yourself, what was the point? You know, like what was the point of you even being out here if you weren't gonna help anybody, you weren't gonna do anything to inspire someone? And looking into the Bible just really gave me the confidence to actually go for what I want to go for. And when I started doing that, the response from people was just, it like motivated me even more. And so having gone through the whole, you know, 2 year struggle and finally getting to the point where I can actually follow what I feel like I'm being, you know, called to do, and people actually supporting it, it's just like, yo, I don't know. I understand now why people, when they start getting into the Bible and everything, they become crazy. Not crazy, but like they look crazy. It's a little crazy, not gonna lie. But just like when you experience something so good, you want to share it with people. And I've just grown a love for people in general more now than before. And so it makes me want to share it even more. But I also have a lot of empathy because I was where a lot of people are, like literally 3 months ago. Low-key still there, just not there mentally, but physically we're still there. And just in this process, I realized that my heart itself has changed. Like what I want and what I value in life has changed. And I've been shifting my focus away. Sorry for all the noise, y'all. My family's over there, but we're gonna make this work anyways. I've been shifting my focus away from what I want to do with my life and really asking God, what do you want me to do? I pray that you prepare me for what you have in store for me. I pray that you prepare me for what you need me to do, and shaping my life in that way so I don't feel the guilt of my plan not working anymore, because I know it's his plan. And to the other lukewarm Christians or people who are just afraid of, you know, reading about the Bible because of the crazy people there are in this world, I just want to say, don't waste your time letting people tell you who God is, because God is not people. And a lot of people, because obviously humans traumatized, right? That's what we do to each other. Everyone got trauma. And don't waste time rejecting something that could be so good for you just because of what someone did. You know what I mean? Like look into the primary source for yourself. Really dig deep, you know, give it a little test run, and then come back to me. If you guys are interested in knowing more about what the actual faith walk kind of looked like for me, comment down below and let me know. And if you're interested in also growing in your faith or just exploring more about the Bible and kind of just want to like test the waters a little bit, also subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you guys want me to talk about, what you're interested in. And be sure to also check out my Instagram at BecomingBrianDi. And I'll see you guys in the next video.